wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Hope everybody had a wonderful Saturday. Um, it's been kind of cold in DC, and we got one more week before Trump takes office. And then, boy, it's gonna be on and popping. I ain't joking. We in for some difficult times, that's for sure. But my grandson called me up and said, "Granddaddy, you still making t-shirts?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "I got a good idea. Bitterness will block your blessing." I said, "Boy, that sound like a good topic to go live about, because it's a lot of people that's holding on to some anger and resentment and some unforgiveness. That's bitterness, man. And that stuff will destroy you. Okay? Let me say that again. That anger, that resentment, that unforgiveness, that revenge, man, you holding on to that stuff, it will kill you. See, you think you hurting other people, but in reality, you hurting yourself. That's the only thing you doing. Only thing you doing is hurting yourself by holding on to all of that negative energy. Listen to this. Um, this is, y'all know I love Proverbs. You know I love Proverbs. And this is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 30. A sound heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. Let me give you the definition of bitterness. Bitterness, anger and disappointment at being treated unfairly, resentment. Jamie, what's going on, girl? Man, I saw you was in an accident. Jamie, I'm glad you're doing okay. I saw you was in an accident coming down here to DC. I'm glad you're doing okay, girl. I'm glad it came out. You wasn't hurt. I saw that. I saw it. I saw it. I saw, girl, you went viral. It might not be the way you wanted to, but boy, that video went viral. You're hurting, but man, it could have been worse. Yeah, it could have been worse, man. It could have been worse. I'm glad to see that you made it out okay. Glad to see. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I saw you though, girl. I saw you. I saw you. You sure went viral, boy. I mean, I'm talking about everybody picked that video up, boy. I ain't joking. They all picked that video up. So, but I'm glad to see you okay, girl. I'm glad to see you okay. Um, but you got another chance, cause next Monday is coming. So, you got. I hope you're feeling better, where you can get on the road next Monday, so you can come down and see it. Um, uh, but envy, man. Oh, you waiting to see if your car can be fixed? Okay. All right. I pray all is well for you, Jamie. Um, anyway, like I told y'all, see, I love Proverbs. Because Proverbs will show you, you're welcome. Proverbs will show you. See, it says, it's Proverbs chapter 14, verse 30. A sound heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. And this is the definition of bitterness, anger, and disappointment at being treated unfairly, resentment, And see, and here's the thing. Yeah, God was on your side, that's for sure. Because that show could have been worse. Because y'all could have slid out of control and got hit. So, yeah, it could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse. See, see, when you holding on to that anger and that disappointment and resentment because you've been treated unfairly, only person you hurting is yourself. And I had to learn this the hard way because I actually had my job from Metro stolen by my union. Let them steal my job, and because I was outspoken and they wanted to get rid of me, so when it came time to defend me, they didn't do a good job of it. And for a long time, man, my late mom thought I was lying about what happened to me. Matter of fact, she died not knowing the truth. And one day the truth is gonna come out. And yeah, and see, and this is the thing that I learned from that experience. See, I could hold on to that bitterness, that anger, and that resentment, and be stuck. A lot of people, when bad things happen to them, they can't get over it. They hold on to it, hoping that they're gonna get justice. And I'm telling you that, man, you have to let that stuff go and start doing other things with your life. Because as long as you sit there and listen to it, a sound heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. See, you holding on to that negative energy, man. That negative energy ain't gonna hurt the person that you upset about. That negative energy is what's gonna hurt you. That's gonna attack your body. It ain't gonna attack them people that you angry and upset with. They ain't gonna even feel that stuff. You gonna take the brunt of that. Listen, this is what it says in the Message Bible. A sound mind makes for a robust body, but runaway emotions corrode the bones. And see, and you got people that specialize in negativity. Let me say that again. You got people out here that specialize in being negative towards somebody else, and they act like it ain't gonna affect them. I see it every day, man. I got people come on here always. You're a failure. You've been trying stuff. You've been doing this, and you ain't. But I'm still in the game. I'm still in the game. Just because I tried it and it didn't work, don't mean it won't work. Maybe I was ahead of my time. Okay, let that stuff go, man. See, because when you hold on to bitterness and anger and resentment, you become a reactionary person. Let me say that again. When you hold on to anger and bitterness and unforgiveness, all you can do is react. Because if you was a proactive person, you would let that stuff go. Oh, and it was your birthday. Oh, Jamie, I'm so sorry to hear that. Happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday. Mine coming up Sunday. Next Sunday, the 19th, is my birthday. My 72nd birthday will be next Sunday. So, but no, man, don't let that stuff go, man. Let that holding on to that negative energy ain't gonna do you no good. Thank you, Jamie. Ain't gonna do you no good. under no circumstances is in. Listen, hold on. I got some more scriptures I'm gonna give you. Cause see, a lot of people be talking to you about things, but yet they don't want to give you no scriptures to back up what they saying. Um, this is still Proverbs 14, verse 10. A heart knows its own bitterness, and a stranger does not share its joy. In the Message Bible, it says the person who shuns bitter moments of friends will be an outsider at their celebration. Okay? Um, see what 13 says. Even in laughter, the heart may sorrow, and the end of mirth may be grief. In the Message Bible, it says, sure, those people who appear to be having a good time, but all that laughter will end up in heartbreak. And see, and when you hold on to bitterness, man, you have a forgiveness issue. Let me say that again. When you hold on to bitterness, you got a forgiveness issue. You don't want to let go. And you'll be surprised at how many people will use stuff like this for sympathy. That's how they get attention, by not letting go of their bitterness, not letting go of their anger. That's all they can hold. That's the only thing they know. And they use that to get sympathy and to get attention, because if they didn't have it, they wouldn't know what to do. And see, and we going into a times now, man, where it's going, listen, there are a lot of people in California had a chance to get all of their stuff and move. Got money and had a chance to get all their stuff and move, and took it for granted that wasn't nothing gonna happen, and ended up losing everything. And a lot of them are gonna be bitter and angry and blaming other folk for their disaster, but they didn't heed the warning. Ain't no sense in you talking about the governor and the mayor when you had ample warning to get out. You had ample warning. Ain't like this just came up on you. Man, people had days before, and they knew the fire was coming. Had days, man, to pack their car up, get all their valuables, get stuff that they couldn't replace, and now they're bitter, they're angry because they done lost everything. They done lost everything. Ain't no sense in you being if you're gonna be angry and bitter with somebody, look in the mirror. Cause you're the one that didn't want to heed the warning. And you got a lot of people, man, that are upset, crying, looking for sympathy, heard the warning, had ample time, and didn't do nothing. See, I could see if it had came up on you suddenly and you didn't have a chance, but a lot of them folk in California had days to get their stuff together, to pack, to load their car. And they didn't, because they took it. Even the mayor went to Africa because she took that fire for granted and ended up having to come back in an emergency. See, ain't no sense in being bitter now, and God can't bless that. God, listen, let me tell you something. As bad as the situation is, man, you got a bitter heart. Ain't nothing God can do for you. God can't bless no bitter heart. God can't bless somebody that got a bunch of unforgiveness, got a bunch of envy and revenge and negative. God can't bless negativity. God can't bless negativity. That's the devil's job. If God turn around and bless something negative, he's doing the work of the devil. He can't be God. Because God is love. God is positive. God is not negative. Now, I saw it. I told my daughter this. They had this Golden Globes was let me see, can I find that thing on X? They had a here we go.
Look at the numbers. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. No surprise in this godless town.
Listen.
Acceptance speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. No surprise in this godless town.
This is the view from a airport.
And a couple of days later, now they joking about God at the Golden Globes. Okay? And the question, let me see what the question was. Hold on, let me find out what the question was.
Have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most?
Let's see. Let's look at the numbers. God created of the world. Let's see what they say. Let me see.
Acceptance speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions.
Oh, so they were saying in the acceptance speeches that people was having, who got called out the most. All right. And it had cast and crew 11, moms 3, and God 0. Okay, and this is that now I get it. Okay, all of the people that won awards, they shouted out the cast and crew the most. Moms came in 3rd. And nobody got up and gave God credit for their success. Now, isn't it ironic that LA is now burning down? Okay, look at the. I mean, Hollywood is the sin capital of the world. It's the sin capital of the world. That's why all of the sin come out of Hollywood. And now they on fire. Now they burning down. How ironic. How ironic. And you know what? And what's this? In 2 more days, man, it's a beautiful moon out. If you anywhere and the sky's clear, man, go out and look at that moon. The first full moon of the year. It's coming out. The first full moon of the year. So I'm telling you, listen. If you're angry, if you're upset, if you holding on to some resentment and some anger and some unforgiveness, man, let that stuff go. Because the only person you hurting is yourself. You are the only one that those emotions are going to destroy. It's going to destroy you. That energy that you pointing at other people is coming right back to you. And it's done happened. You can't do nothing about it. Man, try to manufacture something else. Do something else. Create something else. You know, because the Bible says when one door closed, another door will open. And you got to have the faith and belief that, man, whatever you're doing, it's going to work. Even if you don't see how at this point. You got to believe in yourself, man. You got to believe in what you're doing. Because if you don't, you're going to get frustrated. If you don't, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to start second guessing yourself. If you don't have no faith in what you're doing, let that resentment go. That anger, that unforgiveness is not going to benefit you. Not at all. And we got a lot of young people. And see, and this is the thing that's so crazy in the black neighborhood. See, when we disagree with each other, we kill each other. You know, that's when you disagree, you now my opposition. And I kill my opposition. That's what the music is telling them to do. Kill each other. Because of a disagreement. Because they ain't see eye to eye. And it's sad that record companies are actually out here paying these young boys to go out and kill each other. They're paying them good money to go out here and kill each other, to degrade each other, put each other down. Look at the money they making, man. And all that rap music is nothing but death, sex, and drugs. That's all it is. Ain't nothing uplifting about that. Ain't nothing encouraging about that. Because every time you see them doing this, man, they shooting a gun. They killing somebody. When you see these jokers doing this level, man, they shooting a gun. You know, they trying to kill, they talking about killing their opposition. Every time you see this move right here, man, that represents a gun. That represents violence. And look how many people wake up early in the morning entertaining that foolishness. And you're wondering why our community is in such chaos and confusion. Because look at what we're promoting. Look at what we allow. We allow this stuff, man. Listen, just cause let me tell you something. You want to put a drug deal out of business? Stop doing drugs. You want to put a drug deal out of business? Stop doing drugs. If they ain't got nobody to sell it to, they're going to have to do something. Man, you could fill up the Empire State Building with all the drugs and all the guns you want to. As long as nobody don't touch it, it ain't harmful. It won't hurt you. You can fill up the Empire State Building with all of the drugs and guns you want to. It only becomes dangerous when it gets into the hands of people. That's when it becomes dangerous. You want to put a drug dealer? Stop doing drugs. What they gonna do? They can't sell it, now what they gonna do? And that's what we glorify, negativity. We glorify that, man. And that's by design. That's when they came out with all these black exploitation movie. Like Superfly and Chef and all them other movies, man, glorifying drugs. That's by design. And all you see these young boys now, whenever they flashing their money, they got hundreds of dollars of bills that they flashing and talking about killing each other or screwing the girlfriends or demeaning black women. And they got hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of them come out with the money lined up on their arm. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Will go and get a half quarter of $1,000,000 and go to the strip club and give it away. What if you took $500,000, $250,000, and went into a classroom and used that money to motivate them to do good? But no, you're going to a strip club and exploit some women for your pleasure. But you ain't trying to do nothing positive. You ain't trying to uplift nobody. You exploiting people. Somebody, cause you just want somebody to sit on your dick. And if you want to get down to the bottom line of it, and see, and because that's all we spreading is negativity. Nobody's talking about, man, let that bitterness go. Let that anger go. It ain't hurt. I see people on Twitter talking about how racist Elon Musk is. Man, that's his platform. He can do whatever the hell he want on his own platform. And either you figure out a way to get what you need out of that platform or get gone. Why when somebody show you who they are, why are you upset? And they showing you who they are, and you upset. They taking all of the guesswork out of it, making it easy for you, and you upset because somebody showing you who they are. And when somebody show you who they are, you need to make up your mind right then and there. Do I want to deal with this or do I want to move on? You can't be upset because somebody showing you that they're a racist, that they don't like you, and you mad. You can't make nobody like you at all. Are you receiving me over? I don't know what that means. Let me look at you. I don't know what that means. No, the answer is no. I ain't receiving you over. I don't know. What you talking about? What you talking about? Let me see. Let me look at you. Let me look at you. You got 141 subscribers. Okay, you say. No, I don't know what you talking about. Are you receiving me over? What you talking about? What you talking about? I don't know what you talking about. Explain yourself. Ian, Mad Gun. Explain yourself. But I'm just saying, man, stop getting emotional because somebody doing something that you disagree with. Because that's when you're going to have to make up your mind whether or not you want to deal with them or you want to just get away from them. It's just that simple. Ain't no argument. Ain't no reason to be upset, especially when somebody is showing you who they are. Somebody showing you who they are, man, you ain't got time to be upset with them. Not at all. Under no circumstances time to be upset. Okay? Stop letting things, get you all riled up, wind you up and trot you off. That's what you got to stop doing. It's just that simple. And you can't, and like I said, when somebody's showing you who you are, why are you upset? Why are you angry? when somebody is showing you who they are. So that just get over that, man, because all of that energy, that negative energy that you holding on to, the only person that's hurting is you. It ain't hurting nobody else but you. It's gonna destroy you. It's gonna impact your health, not nobody else. Okay? It's gonna impact your health. So see, like this says, a soft answer. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Listen to the Message Bible. A gentle response diffuses anger, but a sharp tongue kindles a temper fire. Okay? You don't have to. And listen, none of us are perfect. See, you're gonna have some moments where you're gonna you're gonna slip back into some of your old, but you're gonna catch yourself. None of us are perfect. Okay? You ain't perfect, but you know, listen, the tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pour out foolishness. In the Message Bible, it say knowledge flows like springs of water from the wise. Fools are leaky faucets dripping nonsense. And when they dripping nonsense, man, that's bitterness. And see, and when you see a bitter person, how do you, well, true conductor, how can you recognize a bitter person? Because they always complaining. They're always the victim. That's a bitter person. It's always somebody else's fault. It ain't never their fault. That's a bitter person. They'll never be accountable, never be responsible. It's always somebody else's fault. That's a bitter person. And that's the person you want to stay away from. See, I don't care if it's your family. If they always got some drama, if they always got some crap going on around, man, get away from that. You don't need that. That is not what you want in your life. And see, and most of y'all are afraid to let it go. Most of y'all are afraid to hurt their feelings. See, you want to have, and ain't got no peace, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. And you rather tolerate the drama and the confusion because you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Make it make sense. Make it make sense because it don't. And see, and eventually that stuff is going to rub off on you. Eventually, if you hang it around it long enough, it'll rub off on you. And you'll look up and you'll be doing the same thing because of the company that you keep. And see, and that's one of the things that you can tell about people. But you can look at a person and tell the company that they keep. Listen to them, and you'll tell who their friends are. All you gotta do is listen to them, and they'll tell you who they hang around. Because if they always got some confusion, some cheating, and some deceit, that's all they talk about. And that's what most people will only have a conversation about the stuff they enjoy. That's all they're gonna talk about is what they enjoy doing. And when you find all these guys, man, that all they can talk about is women and lusting and how big that booty, man, that's all they got on their mind. That's all they got on their mind. So get away from that bitterness, man. Get away from that bitterness. Listen, a wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 4. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness, let me look up that definition of perverseness because I don't want to take it for granted that people know what that means. Hold on. Perverseness, the quality of being morally wrong or deliberately deviating from what is considered good, normal, or proper. The quality of being morally wrong or deliberately deviating from what is considered good, normal, or proper. Listen, this is what it says. A wholesome tongue, matter of fact, let me look up this word wholesome. I don't want to take it for granted that you know what that means. Wholesome, conducive to or suggestive of good health and physical well being. Conducive to or suggestive of good health and physical well being. Um, a decent moral person, somebody who's trustworthy and not living a secret life of crime. Wholesome. A decent moral person, somebody who's trustworthy and not living a secret life of crime. Okay? It says a wholesome tongue is a tree of life. Man, that's a good person. That's somebody that's straight saying what they mean what they say. Is a tree of life. But perverseness, somebody that don't care, and it breaks the spirit. Let me see what that says in the Message Bible. Kind words heal and help. Cutting words wound and maim. Kind words heal and help. Cutting words wound and maim. And we already know that in Proverbs 13:2, a man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth. We see that this goes to show you how important your words are. And when you get on here spewing a whole bunch of negativity and man, that stuff is coming back to you. Look, in verse 12, it says, um, ooh, this is verse 18. There is one who speaks like piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise promotes health. See, man, your words gonna either heal you or they gonna hurt you. And you got all this bitterness and this anger, and look at what you're doing to yourself, and you ain't even conscious of the fact that everything coming out of your mouth is hurting you. Listen, rash language cuts and lame, but there's healing in the words of the wise. See, that wise person, man, ain't gonna be negative. That wise person is not going to be reactive. That wise person ain't going to be looking back at the past because ain't nothing they can do with it. They can't change it. The only thing they gonna do is tell you how to move forward with what you're doing. And unfortunately, because it ain't coming from who you want to hear it from, then you don't want to accept it because they haven't gotten the stamp of approval of man. You don't want to accept it. You don't want to believe it. See, because it hadn't got the approval that you consider. So since ain't nobody else approving it, you don't want to approve it. You don't want to promote it. No. Because ain't nobody else doing it. Well, how come you ain't doing it? Why don't you start the ball rolling? Why you gotta wait on somebody else to get the ball rolling? See, and this is what somewhere along the way, listen to this. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 7. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the hearts of fools does not do so. The lives of God loyal people flourish. A misspent life is soon bankrupt. And we talking about words. And every time you don't want to let go of bitterness, that's what's coming out your mouth. Bitterness. And that is what's coming back to you, the words that you speak. And maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you can't see that. Maybe you don't even want to accept that. That's your problem. But this ain't what I'm saying. I'm showing it to you in the word. I'm showing it to you in the Bible. Now, maybe if um listen, this is 15:12. A scoffer does not love one who corrects him, nor will he go to the wise. It says in the Message Bible, know-it-alls don't like being told what to do. They avoid the company of wise men and women. See, them people that you can't tell nothing. And sometimes it's your family. Sometimes it's your children and your grandchildren that won't listen. See, they got to learn the hard way. They got to go down the road that you've been trying to warn them. Man, don't go that way. Don't go that way. That's not a good route for you to take. But they don't believe you. And then when they go down there and get hurt, now they dealing with a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment. That stuff ain't no good for you, man. And if you one of them that's holding on to some things that somebody has done to you, let it go. Let it go. I know it hurts, man. I know it's disappointing. I know that. But holding on to it ain't gonna do you no good. It ain't gonna do you no good when you don't want to be forgiven. When you just got to get even. You got to have your revenge. You're only hurting yourself, man. You know, um, this another thing. My grandmother, man, I'm I woke up. Uh, I woke up the other morning and this idea, lessons from my grandmother.
came to me, and I started writing down some of the things, man, that my grandmother has, you know, told me um, over the years when she was living. Like my grandmama used to always say, "Baby, every closed eye ain't sleep." And see, a lot of people don't even understand that. Just cause somebody's eyes are closed, don't mean they sleep. Some of them have a way, where you think their eyes are closed, but shit, they looking at everything you do. They can see everything that you do. So every closed eye ain't sleep. And she used to say, beggars can't be choosy. See, when you begging folks for something, you got to accept what they're gonna give you. You can't go in there and with a grocery list. I want this and I want that. No, beggars can't be choosy. And this is one of uh she's always say, man, closed mouth can't get fed. That means sometimes you got to speak up. Closed mouth can't get fed. You can't sit on the sidelines minding your business and don't want to get involved. 'Cause a closed mouth ain't gonna get fed. And she's always say, baby, bottom rail always come to the top. You might be doing bad today, but one day you're gonna come to the top. She always say, baby, bottom rail always come to the top. And that so don't give up. Don't quit. I don't care what you're going through. Bottom rail always gonna come to the top. And my favorite boy was when she told me, when they looking at you, give them something to see. Give them something to see. And see, a lot of y'all worry about your haters, and you ain't giving them nothing to talk about. And you so angry and upset about them, man, give them something to talk about. You know, and I used to always be in a hurry, man. I come in the house, man. I'm coming in, and I'm let me get a bath and get. And she said, "Look, boy, you can't milk no cow standing up. Slow down." You can't milk no cow standing up, boy. Slow down. Take it easy. Sit down. Watch what you're doing. And see, when you start talking stuff like this, be like, what? You can't milk no cow standing up. And that's the kind of wisdom that my grandmother used to use. And you had to, here's another. I gotta, cause see, now this stuff is coming back to me, and I have to write it down, boy, cause now I'm having flashbacks. And when when she send you somewhere, she asks you to go do something for her, and one of the first things she say, boy, meet yourself coming back here. Meet yourself coming back. That means don't be out there fooling around. Okay? If you go and do something, go do it and bring your ass back. Yeah, yeah, boy, I'm telling you, man, yeah, meet yourself coming back. Don't be out there playing around. Don't be wasting time. Go do what you got to do and bring your ass on back here. And that's what she tell you. Go do it. All right, meet yourself coming back now. You know, when you meet yourself coming back, you ain't bullshitting. You know, you ain't messing around. And see another thing she tell me, she's like, baby, if you kill the head, the ass gotta die. You keep banging on that head, ass gonna die. And whatever you doing, keep banging on that head, man. Keep banging on the head. Don't give up. Keep banging on the head. Because if you kill the head, ass out of here. Ass going with it. Ain't no way you gonna kill the head of no snake and the body don't go with it. Ain't no way you gonna kill the head of an animal and the body don't well, chickens are the only ones that you can snap their neck off, and for a while, that chicken will run around until it fall out and realize ain't got no head. Yeah, and she used to take them chicken, boy, and swing around and pop, and that chicken be running around and eventually, bam, fall over. Yeah, yeah. So so that was my idea. I even went. I'm gonna write it out. I'm gonna write it out. I don't know how long it's gonna take me, but I got me a little composition book. I'm gonna write it out. See what happens. Since I got days that I can't go down to the White House, man, I got a project to work on. I got a project to work on. And this is what I'm trying to show people, man. You don't know where your answer gonna come from. You have no idea where your answer is coming from. You have no idea whose path you gonna cross. Are they cross yours? You have no idea. But if you angry and you upset and you unforgiving, you'll miss that blessing, man. God ain't gonna bless your anger. God ain't gonna bless your bitterness. God ain't gonna bless your resentment, your unforgiveness. God ain't gonna bless that. God can't bless that. So since God can't bless it, why are you holding on to it? Man, that's a good question, True Conductor. Why are you holding on to some stuff that God can't even bless? And you're wondering why your life ain't working. But you're holding on to some things God can't even bless. God can't even multiply your negativity. God ain't gonna be a part of that. God ain't gonna be a part of that. Because that'll go against his word. So why you holding on to it? Why you don't want to let go? And when you start asking these questions and people start examining, see, now you got to be accountable. Now you got to take some responsibility. And that's what most folk don't want to do. They don't want to be accountable and they don't want to take responsibility. But they can blame other people. It's somebody else's fault. But what was your part in it? The relationship didn't work. It's easy to point out what they did, but what was your part? What was your contribution to that relationship not working? And see, and usually when you start talking to people about stuff like that, it's always somebody else's fault. But what was your part? Oh, I was a good person. You know, I, I didn't do no wrong. Really? You didn't do no wrong? You didn't get on that person's nerves? You didn't disappoint them at all? And just out of the now they got some foolish people out here. I'm not gonna tell you ain't no foolish people. There are some foolish men and women out here. Yes, they are. That has something good in front of them and can't appreciate it. There are some folk out here like that. Yes, they are. But I'm talking about what was your part. And see, and 9 times out of 10, especially when it come down to situations like that, see, when you're involved in a relationship and it didn't work, man, what did that person teach you? Maybe their responsibility was to prepare you for the person that really what God meant for you to have. Because if you don't know where love is in your heart, how can you go there? Let me ask you that again. See, if you never discovered the love that's in your heart, I'm talking about, man, that love where I don't care what they do wrong, you're willing to forgive them because you love them. If you don't know where it is in your heart, how you gonna give it to somebody? And you've never discovered it in your own heart. So sometimes when you complaining about how bad you were treated, look at what you learned. Look at what you discovered. Look at what that person taught to you. Man, I had this girl, man, she's always telling me, Don, you got to teach people how to treat you. That was one of her favorite Hey Don, you got to teach people how to treat you. No, no, I don't drive it. No, I don't drive a train in blue sky. No, but I am the truth conductor. I look like a conductor, but I don't. No, I don't.
No, that's my brand. That's my brand, Blue Sky. That's all that is, my brand. Yeah, that's my brand. You know, and that's what I try to do. Yeah, that's all it is, just my brand. Yeah, and truth conductor is nothing but a messenger from God. Anybody can be a truth conductor. So, and people used to always ask me that same question. You work on the train? No, I don't. I do Black History tours at DC. I'm a conductor on the Underground Railroad. All right. Um, you're Iranian. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm not. I don't have any. Um, and since you are Iranian, well, let me tell you something. Wait a minute. What's this? What is this? Oh, you out of here. You just. Uh, yeah. See you later. Okay. I don't. And people, you just opened that account up in December. You look good. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, one day I'm gonna have a sponsor. One day I will soon this year. I'm gonna have a sponsor this year. I'm gonna have me a sponsor this year. I certainly am. I'm gonna have a sponsor this year. So, um, and what I realized was to I've been for the last 4 years, man, trying to um, get something to work. And finally, I just said, you know what? I'm gonna trust God and let him make it happen. You know, just believe. Quit trying. Because sometimes you can try too hard. And I think that was the mistake I was making. I was trying too hard to get something to work. And, you know, and it was pushing people away. So now, after 4 years of being out here, the message is out. I just gotta sit back and believe somebody gonna discover it and say, hey, I can get with that. And that's what I got to do at this point, you know, and just keep doing what I do. Keep trying to help people, man. Keep trying to uplift people. Keep trying to encourage people. Because, you know, it ain't easy out here, y'all. It's really not easy at all, especially when you're going through some things. See, you got some people out in California that's getting ready to go through some stuff. And it ain't gonna be easy, man. Cause I mean, can you imagine your church, your school, your home, all of the stores have been totally wiped out. And now you got to start over brand spanking new in a place that you don't even know. And you got to start over. And you have to start over, man, from scratch. All of the hard work that you done put in is just wiped off the board. And you got to start over from scratch. And that's why I'm saying, you know, you're going to have a lot of people bitter and upset, but they didn't heed the warning. And they're going to be bitter and they're going to be upset and they're going to be angry. But they had ample warning and didn't heed it. So if you're going to be upset and mad at anybody, it's going to be, and you're going to have some people that's going to commit suicide because of the guilt that they have, that they had a chance to get out and didn't because they took it for granted. You have some folk gonna commit suicide, man. It's gonna happen. And I ain't trying to wish nothing bad on nobody, but I'm gonna tell you that guilt, when they sit down and really realize, man, I had a chance to get out and I didn't. I didn't heed the warning. Some of them not gonna be able to take it, man. Some of them are not gonna be able to take it. And that's the only way out, is to just hurt themselves. I pray that they don't, but in reality, some folk gonna do it because they're just that fragile. They never, see, you got some people that have never experienced anything like this. What, homeless? Ain't never been homeless in their life. And now they ain't got nothing. I'm talking about nothing. Car gone, house gone, all the papers gone. Now you got to go back and get everything because you didn't grab all the important stuff that you needed. When you had a chance to get it all, you didn't. And now you up. See, you got to look at that, man. That a lot of people gonna be guilty behind that. They had a chance to get everything they needed to save some stuff that was sentimental to them, and didn't heed the warning. You can't be upset with the mayor or the governor. You didn't heed the warning, man. You didn't heed the warning. You know, like they talking about the fires now headed toward Brentwood. Shit, all them people, man, I'd have a moving truck in front of my house getting all my shit out because I can afford it. See, now there's some people, man, could have hired a moving truck. Come pack up my stuff, man. Let me get out of here. Let me get, at least I got my stuff. Could clean their house out. No, but they took it for granted. Oh, man, that's California. That's California for it. Ain't nothing gonna happen. And look, man, California with LA will never be the same. Never be the same. After this, it'll never be the same. And here's the crazy part. Some of the same people that was looking down on homeless folk now find themselves in that position. A lot of the laws that they have enacted against homeless people, now they got to face them. See, that's what a lot of folk don't want to realize. Oh, they enacted a lot of laws against homeless people. And now you got a new set of folk that enacted some of these laws, that voted for some of these laws. And now I got somebody visiting from Sacramento right now. One day I have money, man, have all this stuff together. One day I'm gonna have some money, man. I'm gonna have my app. I'm gonna have my Truth Conductor app. Yes, I am. One day I'm gonna have my own app, man. I'm gonna have my own app. Yes, I am. I got my truthconductor.com. I'm just waiting to get my hands on some money. I'm gonna get my website up. It's gonna be hitting too. Ain't gonna be no crap. I'm gonna put up a nice website. Yes, I am. You know, cause see, what I've come to realize is adversity is what sharpens you. Let me say that again. How you deal with adversity either gonna sharpen you or it's gonna destroy you. How you deal with adversity is either gonna sharpen you or it's gonna destroy you. And see, and if you're one of those people that get knocked down and don't stay down and still keep looking, you're always proactive, you always got ideas going. See, that's how you know a person is proactive or whether they reactive, because when somebody get knocked down, see, it's easy to feel sorry for yourself. It's easy to have a pity party. That's easy. But when you still looking for solutions, when you still looking for examples, that's when the rubber meets the road, man. When you still proactive. And you still got your wherewithal where you can still try to come up with ideas. Not knowing if they're gonna work, and I ain't got no money. But you still coming up with ideas. And sometimes it's not about money, man. You get an idea good enough, somebody will pay you for it. And see, this is what I be trying to show folk, you know, you got so many people, this AI, this artificial intelligence, man, it's just gonna dumb people down. That's all that's gonna do. Artificial intelligence is designed to dumb people down. And you got a lot of people right now that are leaning to that because you ain't got to think. You ain't got to use your brain when you dealing with artificial intelligence. You ain't got to think. And it's just dumbing you down. And you're going to become dependent on that technology and be dumb as a rock, man. Cause you letting something else do the work and not you. Why don't you do the work? See, and that's gonna be the downfall of a lot of people, man. That is gonna be the downfall. That artificial intelligence gonna be the downfall of a lot of folk, for real. No, I hasn't. No, I haven't. Uh, let me see. I gotta. No, I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen it. Um, let's see. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. Yeah, yeah, I believe it's spiritual. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I do. I do. I absolutely do. I do. I got it. I'm gonna look it up. If it's on YouTube. I mean, man, in fact, let me see if it's on YouTube right now. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. It's on YouTube. Okay. Henry said it was great to meet you at the White House. All right. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you, man. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Thank you. Um, it's a timely message. It's a very timely message, and it's gonna take off. It's gonna take off. I just got to just keep believing. I haven't had a chance to go to the White House at all this week because it's been freezing. I mean, been freezing in the 20s and the 30s, and tomorrow is gonna be almost 40 degrees. So tomorrow will be my first day uh, going back down to the White House in over a week. Because I just haven't been out, and you know, I enjoy the interaction because it's like, you what service can I provide? How can I entertain people? Because a lot of folk, man, they just picked the wrong time to visit the White House, and this happens every 4 years. And they come in to see the White House, and ain't nothing but viewing stands and bleachers out in front of the White House, and they got it all fenced up. I'll show y'all tomorrow. I'll show y'all tomorrow how they got it all fenced off, man. You know, and it's just for one day. They built all of that stuff for one day, and after that one day, they're gonna have to tear all that stuff down. When the parade is over, that's January the 20th. Man, it won't be until March 1st before they open up Pennsylvania Avenue again in front of the White House. It'll be March 1st before they open the avenue back up. If in fact they open it back up in front, because they might just fence the park off. You never know, depending on how people are acting. but we see the division coming. We see all of the confusion that's coming, and we ain't trying to get out in front of it. And I'm just saying, man, somebody need to get out in front of this, because we see it coming. So if we see it coming, why not try to get out in front of it? And Nicole, back to your question, uh, you know, Hollywood is the sin capital of the world. Hollywood, and it's now on fire. It's now on fire. And that's the sin capital of the world. I mean, that's where sin originates, out of Hollywood. And it's being burned down. And they say that they got folk out here setting fires and being an arsonist, but them people can't create 100 miles an hour winds. They can't do that. Can you imagine? That's like a hurricane, man. Those 100 miles an hour. That's like a hurricane. And they say, well, that's climate control, but who controls the climate? Think about that. Who controls the climate? God. And you gonna tell me that God didn't have nothing to do with them winds? And like I told you, man, a lot of people didn't even heed the warning. And a lot of people gonna suffer with guilt because they didn't heed the warning. Had a chance to get out, to get their stuff, and took it for granted. Had a chance, took it for granted. Ain't no sense in crying now. When you had a chance to get, didn't like it snuck up on you. It was all of a sudden. You saw it coming. You saw it coming. And didn't believe it would touch you. You saw it coming. You could see the smoke. Might have been miles away from you, and you thought you were safe. And you didn't heed the warning. There are a lot of people, man, packed up their entire house and got their stuff out. And yet, nobody, I haven't seen not one person that actually packed their house up and moved because they saw the fire coming. All I've seen is people, well, I didn't think it was going to be this serious. I didn't think it was going to spread like this. That's what I see. Okay? Well, again, okay, so if you got poor management, that's even more of a reason to heed the warning. That's even more of a reason to heed the warning. And it's a lot of people, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole, let's see, Kisley. Say he lived in Southern California. They knew the winds was going to happen. They knew it wasn't rain, poor management. But are there people that didn't heed the warning, Kisley? Are there people that didn't heed the warning? That's all I want to know. Are there people that didn't heed the warning? That's yes or no. Forget the management. Forget all of it. Are there people that did not heed the warning, took it for granted, that they were safe. They took it for granted they were safe, and they wasn't. They wasn't. And like I said, man, this 2025 has changed Los Angeles forever. That city will never be the same. It will never be the same. Cause a lot of them houses that burned down, man, you can't build them structures anymore. That's a lot of stuff that was burning. Man, it's not even plausible to build those kind of structures anymore. Cause that's when stuff was cheap. And to build some of them houses, cause all they're gonna do is be plywood. And right now in DC, if we had the same conditions, a bunch of wind, and some houses start burning, shit, all these houses are built out of plywood. And the whole city would burn down, damn near. Under the right conditions, the whole city. But yes, well, but again, I'm sure California is a big state. I'm sure. See, we landlocked in D.C. I'm sure. Well, and it's gonna get even more expensive. It's gonna get even more expensive after this. It's gonna get more expensive. See, something gonna have to give, man, in California. Something gonna have to give. Something is gonna have to give. And you might end up having a mad exodus out of California. LA could become a ghost town after this. I mean, seriously, man. LA, and see, and you know, Los Angeles, man, LA could become a ghost town. See, don't rule it out. Because it's going to be a whole lot of people that's going to be getting the hell out of California, going somewhere. And when they leave, the tax money going to leave. Warren stated as a child from storybook, Three Little Pigs. I mean, greed. That's greed. That's why it's so expensive. It's greed. It's just that simple. Greed. That's greed, man. That's just like they're gonna be gouging the people, whatever few stores that are left, man, it's gonna be ridiculous. This is the first time I went into an Aldi's because they got a product that I like that is not quite at $4 yet. And this was the first time two guys was in front of me and they had 4 boxes of eggs. And the cashier got up to him and said, I can only sell you 2. And they were like $13 a dozen. So I can only sell you 2 dozen of eggs because of the shortage. I said, man, I don't eat eggs. So, you know, that's one thing I don't eat. I don't eat eggs. So, you know, the price of eggs don't bother me because I don't eat them. I don't eat them. You know, and I'm like, When did that happen? That they now you can only buy 2 dozen. He said it's a shortage, and we can only sell 2 dozen per person. I said, now that's a hustle. That is a hustle. You go in and buy some eggs and get out and resell them. Well, that's a hustle, buddy. That is a hustle. But man, there's gonna be a whole lot of folk that's out. There's gonna be a whole lot of people out here gouging folk, gouging them. And see, let me show you. Let me show you what the word says about that. Um, Hold on, I just read that today. Where is that? Where it says, let me see. I just read that today. Oh, here it is. There is one who scatters yet increases, and one who, oh no, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. The people will curse him who withhold grain, but blessings will be on the head of him who sells it. And in the Message Bible, it says, curses on those who drive a hard bargain, blessing on all who play fair and square. Okay? see, at this point, what folk are not doing, especially like, if I was a meat eater, like chicken and pork and all of that, man, I find me a local farmer who got chickens. That's what I would do. Instead of going in grocery stores and paying all these high-ass prices, why don't you find a local farmer that's selling eggs, that got eggs, that you can buy chicken and meat from? Why don't you see that's what a lot of people don't even realize. They rather, because it's convenient to go in these stores and see. And now, if man, you're gonna need a freezer. See, now you're gonna have to get a freezer in order to start stocking up. And see, and with all of this stuff going on, like you hear all these people that's got all this food that will last 20 and 30 years. A lot of people never thought this would come to America, where in America you would have any shortages. But California looked like Gaza. It looked like Beirut. Some of them cities that's been bombed and tore down. That's what LA looked like. Like somebody went through there and dropped a bomb on the place. And they ain't got nothing. Okay? Artesian eggs. No, seriously. Seriously, man. Look for a local farmer. Help them out. See, there's if it, and What this is going to do, this is going to force a lot of people to change their diets. See, this situation that's going on right here, right now in America is going to force a lot of people to change their diets because they're not going to be able to afford all these meats and stuff that they used to. Gonna have a lot of people, man, that's gonna give up meat because they can't afford it. And then they're gonna find out that their health is gonna change because they can't afford the stuff that's been killing them. And that's what this is gonna do. Shit, this might make the country healthy. Or we can get away from this processed food. Because that's what's killing us. This processed food. All these sub sandwiches and footlongs. Subway, eat healthy. Ain't nothing healthy about Subway. All that's processed food. But they got you believing it's healthy. And it's processed food. And that's one of the worst things for the body. It's processed foods. So anyway, you say what you can do what you want, man. Do it however you please. Haven't you heard the conspiracy they want us to eat bugs? No, I haven't heard that conspiracy. I wouldn't eat no bugs. I wouldn't. My system don't crave meat like that. I wouldn't want to. Well, see, here's the thing, man, that used to always puzzle me. When I would go and get my prostate checked, they would always tell me my protein is high. You know, when I was eating protein, and it's interesting that if you got cancer, your protein is high. But yet, they tell you that one of the things you need is protein. One of the things they tell you got to have is protein. But when you start checking your PSA level, if your protein is high, shit, you got some problems. So wait a minute. Wait, if my protein is high and my PSA level, do I really need protein? Do I really need it? Because if I do, if it gets high, then it's going to cause me some problems. So is protein really needed for the body? I mean, look at these animals, gorillas. They don't eat meat. They look pretty strong to me. Yeah, I bet you wouldn't mess with one of them. And if that's who we evolved from, for all them people that say, they believe in evolution. So if we came from the monkeys don't eat meat. They don't eat meat. So where they getting their protein from? That's a good question, Trukin. I'm just having some fun with y'all. But think about that, man. Any man that his PSA level is high, his protein is up. So if I get too much protein, it can have an adverse effect on my body. So we need to re-examine a lot of the stuff that they say we need. Do we really need it? Do we really need it? I mean, Vitamin D, cow's milk? Do we really need that? Seriously. So there are a lot of things, man, that we don't question. We just take it for granted. That is true. And see, and you got a whole lot of people that's going to be economically forced to deal with some other things. They're going to be forced to deal with it. You know, they're going to be forced. So, you know, to each his own, man. To each his own. You know, but I'm just saying, you know, just take a look. Instead of, you know, believing what everybody say, man, do some research for yourself and find a different way to do it. And then you'll be able to, you know, see for yourself instead of assuming and taking somebody's word for it. And because most of us are so lazy, we'd rather believe what somebody's telling us than to do the research ourselves. You know, we just go face value at what we're being told, and we don't question it. And when you start get to the point where you don't ask no questions, man, you can't be upset if somebody fooling you, because you the one don't want to ask no questions. You're the one that ain't curious. You're the one. You're the follower now. You know, and that's what this government is used to, is having a bunch of followers. It ain't used to people asking questions to, you know, rocking the boat. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go along with the crowd. And, you know, sometimes going along with the crowd, man, can lead you to harm's way. Okay? All right. How long have I been on here? Hour and a half. All right, man. Get away from the bitterness, man. Get away from that bitterness, that anger, that resentment. Get away from that. Only person that's hurting is you. That's the only person that's hurting. Ain't hurting nobody else but you. And if you don't heed the call, you know, suffer consequences. That's all you can do. If you don't want to heed the call, if you don't want to heed the warning, suffer the consequences. Can't blame nobody else for that. But I'm telling you now, man, holding on to that bitterness, that anger, that resentment, that revenge, ain't no good for you. Only person that's gonna hurt is you. You're the only person that it hurts. And see, and when you can get away from that, when you can get away from that, man, you can start living, enjoying life. Because none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. We all got some shit in our closet. I don't care who you are. You got some shit in your closet. So ain't nobody perfect. So let's stop, you know, taking, if somebody judged you about one wrong thing that you did in life, hell, you wouldn't be where you are now. Think about it. If somebody judged you by the shit you done, you wouldn't be where you are now. So, you know, have some compassion and some understanding for other people, because people make mistakes. I'm not talking about a fool, okay? I'm not talking about a fool. I'm talking about people that make an honest mistake, because ain't nobody perfect. And you ain't gonna agree 100% with it. I don't agree 100% with what she said, because she been telling me, man, get rid of them tours. And I'm like, uh-uh. I ain't getting rid of that. And she say, do it, get rid of it, man. But call it my pride, my baby, because it's what I created. So I'm not trying to just relinquish something that is like my child. My tools are like my child because I created them. I didn't, right now my website, it's not up, but still I got them. They'll be up at some point. When I get ready to start doing them again, then I put them back online. But right now I just okay. When people start showing some interest, I put them back up. But until then, man, that ain't gonna stop me. That'll give me a chance to work on something else. Cause I don't have to sit down and be caught off guard. Cause one person wanna book a tour. So thank you, Kislick. All right. So man, y'all have a nice night. See you later.